Okay. Thank you guys very much. Obviously, the House took a pretty significant step forward tonight in getting a final budget in place for the Commonwealth for the 16-17 fiscal year. We've worked very hard in a bipartisan fashion over the last number of weeks to try to get to a spending proposal that the House was united in supporting. Very happy that this budget does not increase the personal income tax, does not increase the sales tax, makes a historic investment in education with $200 million more in basic education, additional dollars in pre-K for early childhood education and special education as well. And we've worked through this in a bipartisan fashion as we have a number of issues in the last couple of weeks, including gaming, including pension reform, and including liquor reform. And look forward to continuing that fashion over the next couple of days to finish the budget process in a very timely fashion.
And just like to echo the comments that you've just heard, we worked in a bipartisan fashion. We passed the budget today. We think it's a good budget. It funds education, it funds human services at record levels, so it's very important. It's important to the people of Pennsylvania that we work together, we get things done, and we've done that. And we will continue to work over the next few days, and I'm sure there'll be some peaks and valleys here, but we'll get this done, we'll get a revenue package done, and get out of here on time.
Any questions?
No questions?
Well, where do you think things stand with the Senate and the governor?
Well, I think the first step was sending this budget bill over to the Senate, and it actually had the support of the majority of both caucuses, which I think was very important to show a united front. We've had conversations with the Senate, we've had conversations with the governor, and I think this is in the ballpark of what could be a finished product. That's not to saying that there couldn't be a change here or a change there, but I think we're in the ballpark of what could be a final budget proposal.
That's right. I mean, we have the education spend is where I think the governor wanted it to be, what he was asking for. We have over $250 million, so we have there's good things in this budget I think everybody can support, and it's a good start. There may be some tweaks, but I believe we can work through this with the Senate and with the administration to come to a close.
So you think that this vote today moves us closer to having a final budget?
Sure. I think if you look at where we were last June compared to where we are this June, we are a light year away and further along in the process, and hopefully, over the next couple of days, we'll be able to conclude that process. Still being worked on, and look, that's going to be done between the House, the Senate, and the administration. There's still some work to be done in that regard. Look, there's some other bills as well. We got to, finish up a school code, a welfare code, a fiscal code. So we're still working, behind the scenes to try to get those products ready to go.
Yeah, we're going to continue to work on the fiscal part of this. We know revenue is important. We have to come up with revenue for this spending plan. We will do that. There are several options we have, and as the governor said, there won't be a personal income tax or an increase in the sales tax. So we'll work through that, and we'll work with the Senate and the administration to get that done.
The governor says that what he sees of this so far, he believes it to be unbalanced.
I believe it's a balanced budget. We'll talk to the governor about that. I wasn't aware of that.
That's what we're
going to work the next few days doing.
We have projected revenues from cigarette tax. We have the tax amnesty plan, the projected revenues that are coming in. So I think we're right on schedule. The balance sheet that we have, and I think it's going online any day or any hour now, is balanced. The budget that we passed is balanced. Now, it may change as the GA bill may change, okay? But we have the revenue to support it.
Are there revenue items other than tobacco taxes, tax amnesty, gaming, and the wine sales bill?
Look, I think we're still working through that with the Senate and the administration. We'll have a final proposal that will come out and be voted on in the House and the Senate before this is all concluded. I think a lot of you have reported on some of the items that are potentially out there on the table. I don't think it's any secret that the House just passed a gaming bill, that we passed a tax amnesty bill, that we've been talking about tobacco taxes as well. And, certainly I'm sure the Senate or the administration could put other items on the table, but we know personal income tax and sales tax are off the table. So there really aren't that many other options out there.
Hey, could I ask you, if the Senate wants to tweak that revenue package, and there are signs that they will, what would be the next thing on your list that didn't make the cut so far? If you had to swap out something or add something new, what's the next thing on your revenue list?
Look, I think we just passed a budget bill in a pretty bipartisan fashion. It's the Senate's turn to take a shot at what they want to send or whatever adjustments they want to make, and we'll wait to see what they do.
Yeah, we'll negotiate with them on this. We can't speculate as to what they may want to do, and we'll work with them to come up with a budget that works.
So wasn't the hang-up in the last budget season the revenue package? Isn't that really where things got bogged down?
I think we had a lot of hang-ups in the last budget session, and there were a lot of different issues floating around. There was pension reform, there was liquor privatization, there was property tax reform, there was gaming. We've been able to work through most of those issues so far. We've been able to work through a spending plan, and we'll work through a revenue plan too. That'll be the final piece to the puzzle, but we're going to get it done.
Could you guys individually tell me what your preference would be, though, for the next item on your revenue list if you had to go to a Plan B?
I think we're going to have those. I think we're going to have those negotiations with each other, not via the media, because I think that was part of the problem last time too. Instead of negotiating with each other, sitting around a table, we were sending out press releases, and I think this is a better way, more productive way, and it's shown to be productive with liquor privatization, with pension reform, with gaming, and now with a general appropriations bill too.
We'll work on what we can pass.
What changed from last year's hang-ups to this scene tonight to have you guys stand together now here versus 9 months of press releases last year?
I don't think anybody wanted to repeat what went on last year. We have school districts that need to be funded. We have human services that need to be funded. We saw what happened when we didn't do that, and I think there's a desire among all of us to get this done together on time.
Do you have plans to negotiate with the governor and Senate tonight?
We'll wait to hear from the governor and the Senate. We just got done on the floor, so I've not heard anything from them yet. Okay.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you all very much.
We'll always remind